If you're a lineman in charge of keeping the lights on, Grainger understands that you go to great lengths and sometimes heights to ensure the power is always flowing, which is why you can count on Grainger for professional-grade products and next-day delivery, so you have everything you need to get the job done. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hey girl, how you is?
I's good. How you is?
I'm tired. I'm always tired because I'm always doing stuff. I'm just tired.
Why are you tired? What makes you so tired this time, though?
I had the stand-up show Saturday night.
Hold on just a second. But before you keep going, your hair is telling a hair story right now. It is a very tired hair story. Dear listeners, Maim's hair is I think, is it purple still? Is it?
It's still purple, yeah.
Okay, but it's all, girl. It needs a good wash and press. Is what it is.
It just that it's not that. I just don't. I mean, what happens is like I don't. If I'm not leaving the house, I just don't put anything in it. It's like, what am I gonna do? So yeah, so it's
having curly hair. I completely understand. Go on, girl. What's your week been like?
So I mean, the week's been fine. I've just been working on a lot of stuff, and like, and today I've been trying to finish a dress for Mama Maim, and it's been a bit of a, it's been a bit of a challenge. I'll be very honest with you, because she had surgery on her shoulder.
Uh-huh.
I told you that was coming, which is fine. She's fine, ladies and gentlemen, and everything else in the audience. But she wanted something cute for like a wedding. But because she has to wear that stabilizer thing, she can't really wear like normal kinds of clothes.
Yeah.
So she was like, okay, I need something like this. And she sends me a picture, which is fine, of a gown that she sees on the Walmart website. She's like, kind of like this. And I'm like, oh, okay, that should be easy enough, right? And it was just like a little, like a little halter kind of dress, right? Just around her ample bosom. And and so I was like, cool, that sounds great. Then a couple of days later, she was like, oh, also, just so I make sure that I don't have any when you got like technical difficulties, can you put like a shoulder strap on it? And I was like, yeah, sure, I think so. Right, mind you, almost everything I do is literally like, okay, yes, I'll figure out how to do that now because I've not had formal sewing training. And so I was halfway through the dress, and the thing is, she wanted it really like longy and flowy kind of thing, which is great, except for the fact that like that means that the pieces are very big. So like doing a lot of hemming and a lot of
just draping,
going around in circles over and over again like a crazy person.
Do you actually have a dress form?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I was like, if you aren't draping with a dress form or something, girl, what are you doing putting on your man? And like,
what's that gonna do? Galen's like $130. What's he gonna do? Right? So he definitely does not have a womanly frame. I mean, neither do I.
A woman.
Neither do I until I put on the tits and the padding. But I mean, at least I got a little bit of a cup size.
I guess at $130, that's more Kate Moss, isn't it?
So anyway, so I was like, I was finishing up the dress today because I wanted to get it sent out to her. And then as I was doing it today, I forgot about the strap. So I was like almost done. Like I was on like the final stitches and I was like, oh wait, I forgot something. And so the last couple of hours I've been working on that.
Yeah, frantically.
Well, it's not super frantic. It's a little frantic. But so that's what I've been doing. And plot twist.
Ooh, a twist.
In the last 2 days, I've had 2 different drag queens contact me to work on dresses.
Look at you. Girl, that's money.
No, I realized that it just was kind of came out of the blue. So I'm just kind of, I just, it's
Girl,
like, wait,
get
what's happening?
get it done. Make sure it's done well. Get the first few out there, and then they're going to say, "Oh, it's Auntie Maim. You're going to love her. Look at this little caftan I'm wearing. Look at this. Look at this. Look at." Speaking of
You sounded,
caftans.
you sounded just like my brother-in-law just now, by the way. That was almost, that was almost frightening. How much you sounded like my brother-in-law for a second there. Oof.
Oh my. Yeah. So speaking of caftans, you know that dude who owns that company that makes the caftans?
That
I
sells
know.
them for $85.
Yeah, the one that you should be doing. Oh no, they're up to 115 now. Um, so I was looking at his Instagram story. So started following him because I thought he was cute, right? Because he's kind of a
Okay.
chunky, buff Middle Eastern dude.
Sure.
With real gay face. Dear listeners, if you don't know what gay face is, just let it go and I'll explain later. Anyway.
Another sidebar. Another sidebar.
So, and I was flipping through his Instagram stories as you do, and then I knew I didn't particularly care for him, and I hope he doesn't listen to this, but I found a picture of him with Tina Burner, and I was like, oh, 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 oh.
Someone told me that my wig this weekend reminded them of one of Tina Burner's wigs, and I was
You
like,
should
"You."
throw that wig away.
I was like, "You shut your mouth."
It
Like,
wasn't
you
it
just-
pink.
It was like a pink, but I guess like
Yeah,
in
she doesn't
pictures
wear
it
pink.
looked. Yeah,
She
I guess in the pictures it looked red to some people. But it was so funny because
she refuses to wear pink, and so yeah, no, it didn't. It was that wig had too much interest in it to be a Tina Burner wig. Like it had a side part. Tina Burner's never
Yeah.
wearing a side part.
Oh, it's true. She's not.
It had kind of a wet look. Only time Tina Burner was wet, never mind. We'll let that go. There was a Graham Norton joke in there, I'm sure, but I'll just.
I knew where it was. I knew where it was going to. I was like, "Ooh boy, ooh boy." There goes our only hope of ever having Graham Norton on our show. There we go.
So speaking of, please, did we have that hope? So speaking of drag queens, I was also drag queens I don't particularly care for that are in the famous world. I just before this little discussion we're having right now, I watched about 5 minutes of an interview with Milk.
Okay.
Yeah, that's exactly how I felt. She was talking about how she was kind of set up on RuPaul's Drag Race All Stars to be kind of a villain, and like they cut her like stuff down and to make it seem like she wasn't the same person for timing and blah 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 blah. And I was like, I don't care.
Okay, so here's my biggest problem, right? And I'll just say this, just not being crappy, but me and you, we get on this microphone and we say some stupid stuff, right?
Right.
Stupid stuff, right? However, what you don't really ever hear us do is say hateful things or mean things or rude things or everything else. And sometimes when I watch Drag Race and then later when they talk about their edit, my brain always says the same thing. You still said it. Like you
Right.
still said terrible things. Edits themselves. They can do a lot. They can't put actual words in your mouth though. So
Right.
it's like, did you say it or not?
And the difference between, like, I feel like sometimes I say some pretty mean things. I do. I stand by them. Like the thing is, I fully believe the things I'm saying, and I will stand by. They may not be the best opinions in the world. I mean, they are to me because they're right. But
Yeah.
I've also had a little bit of a minor crisis recently. I've lost 2 of my 17 Twitter followers. I don't know where they went to. I don't know who or what they were. I'm hoping they were bots.
Oh no.
I know. So
What are you gonna do?
if you're out there, followers, refollow me, please. I miss you. I didn't even know who you were, but I miss because I can only see like 10 of them anyway, and I'm like,
Oh man. I mean,
at Divine Miss Mims if you're wanting to follow me. At Divine Miss Mims.
I mean, just lie and say you have an OnlyFans. You'll get followers instantly.
Nobody wants to see this.
There are people to
Oh,
see
I know.
everything.
I
That's
know.
why Chatterbait still exists, for goodness sake.
Oh, I know. Oh, trust me, I know. I still have some tokens back from the early 2000s. What you talking about?
I never went on the site, so I don't actually know how it operates, so I don't know.
You go on there, you buy some tokens, you find somebody you think's hot, you ask to see their feet, and you send them some money. That's about how it works. You think
Wow.
I'm joking? That is probably just being in the rooms. That's what seems like the number one request is.
Speaking
really
of modern
does.
romance,
You want to get into this episode?
let's get into the episode for the day.
Let's get into this episode. Episode 16. Reese's friend.
I'm Julia Sugarbakers. I'm Julia Sugarbakers. I'm Julia Sugarbakers. I'm Julia Sugarbakers. And that's Marjorie. Just so you will know, and your children will someday know, is the night the light went out in Georgia. The light went out, the light went out, the light went out, the light went out. And that is the night the light went out in Georgia.
I'm sorry, I didn't know.
Well, now you do.
Yes, February 22nd, 1987, which would have put us in kindergarten or first grade at that point. First grade. Okay, so that's first grade. Awesome.
I need you to do something, Maim. I need you to do something very important.
Yes.
I need you to completely forget the last episode. Because we have moved back to where we were. We have moved completely back to where everything's normal. Like
Sure?
We've just completely forgotten about that episode. The chair's gone. The quality of cameras are gone. Or better. The everything. The set's back to normal.
So they cleaned the Vaseline off the lens this time.
This isn't RuPaul's Drag Race, but yes.
Girl, they use that same kind of lighting on that last episode now.
Just as an aside, a quick aside. Speaking of the last episode and
We don't have quick asides. We never have quick asides.
Well, just let it go. So my husband and I last night, after having about 3 drinks, decided to watch the pilot of The Nanny on HBO Max.
Jeez.
Girl, that episode slaps. It is still funny, and granted, we were about 3 drinks in. But Fran Drescher is amazing. And B, that episode, that pilot was better than either one of these pilots.
Wow.
Moving
Well-
forward.
Yeah, that's wow. Okay. We'll put that on the list of maybes in the future. I don't know.
Girl, how many babies we got?
We got a lot of maybes. Got a
So
lot.
we're at Sugar Bakers. We're at Sugar Bakers.
Yes.
We're at Sugar Bakers. And Suzanne and Julia walk in, and there's going to be a country club dance.
Yeah.
But Suzanne is very upset at Julia.
Why?
Because she got upset at the people for their theme that they were going to have.
What? How bad could this theme be?
Hobo heaven.
Oh.
They were all going to dress like poor people.
Oh,
Now-
wow.
Now, based on what Suzanne thinks a poor person looks like, are you just thinking it's some Liz, like some Liz Claiborne?
Right, because I'm like, do you mean like actual like real poor like hobo type people, or do you just mean like people that shop at the Piggly Wiggly? Right? Like which one
Exactly.
is it?
Exactly. Which I love a Piggly Wiggly. A lot of them are
I
gone now.
I know. I remember the shirt you used to have on a
Oh,
lot.
it is still one of my favorite grocery stores. Anyway, so and speaking of Piggly Wigglies are in the South and Wisconsin, because somebody from Wisconsin came down to, I believe it was South Carolina, went to a Piggly Wiggly, liked it so much, started the franchise up there.
What?
Yes.
That's actually kind of perfect for there because that's like a big sausage country, right?
It is. It is. It big sausage country. That's also chatterbait. So so Julia got them to change it to whatever anybody wanted to wear, they could wear, and she bought tickets for everyone.
Yeah. Did you? I didn't understand that part. So like, did she mean that she bought tickets for everybody and they have to pay her for it, or that she just did it out of the kindness of her heart?
I felt like she did out of the kindness of her heart.
Oh, yeah, but she also bought them for their dates as well.
Well, it's a charity, so if the company bought it, it's a tax.
Oh, that's it. Sugar Bakers bought them. That's it.
Yeah, that's how I read it. That Sugar
Yeah.
Baker's bought them, and that it's a tax write off for the company. Even though last episode they could not afford anything.
Nothing they could afford. They were one bad sale away from going bankrupt.
So uh yeah, God, just what.
Continuity matters, people. Continuity matters.
So Charlene is gonna go. Charlene doesn't have a date. Mary Jo thinks JD has to work. Suzanne says, "Well, come along with us because what's his name? Her rich boyfriend. He's always got
Why can I never remember his name?
whatever rich boyfriend, 85-year-old rich boyfriend.
Rich old guy. Yes.
He has to drag around his oxygen tank anyway. So what's the difference between dragging them around?
Oh man. So okay. So we both grew up in a time where country club things were such a big deal. And it's really funny because now, no shade to people, but it's really funny that sometimes some of our old friends go live and they're at functions just like on this
Oh,
episode.
yeah.
And it was jarring for me. I was like, oh no, everything is still the same.
I know. So I've got a question for you, and I do not know the answer to this.
Okay.
When did the Statesville Country Club let in black people?
Well, it had to be after we left for college because they still hadn't let anybody in at that point.
They still not letting Dr. McKenna?
No, not at that point. No, actually, I don't think that ever happened because remember there was a lawsuit and all that.
Right.
There's all of those things that happened because our town wanted to keep being racist.
Oh my God. Statesville.
Oh, goodness, my goodness.
Now, supposedly, Statesville did have their first Pride Parade.
Nope. They
It
didn't.
was canceled due to rain or infighting. One of the two happened.
I already got canceled because of threats.
I think so. I followed the Statesville Record and Landmark. Dear listeners, if you ever want to be pissed off at something, just follow the Statesville Record and Landmark on the Facebook and then read the comments.
No, everybody's gonna go read that and then come back later and look like at the two of us like, how did you survive? They're gonna be like, how did they even let you guys survive?
Because it was surprisingly comfortable. Like it, I don't know about you. There were a few people who were like gay haters. I could think about 3 people in my mind right now, but the majority, at least when we were growing up, it didn't seem like they cared. I mean, yes, we were going to go to hell. They were going to pray for us around the flagpole, but
Well, plus now I will say though, right? One thing that is a little bit different is that there is like the anonymous comment section on websites now. Yeah. So we get to see like a side of our people that we don't necessarily got to see back then.
Going back to praying around the flagpole, as a car rider for so many years, because I was out of district, let me just tell you, those assholes would block the lane for the car riders to go through while they're trying to pray. Y'all, I don't care if you're praying around the flagpole. Just keep your shit away from the car riders. Let me through. Pray, do whatever you need to do. Just get out of my way. My Catholic ass don't care what you're doing. Just move. Anyway, Anthony's going to junior college.
The Miss Mims story starring Maggie Smith.
How dare you make me that young?
I can see like you just put that woman in like some nice 80s windbreaker, and then she gets out of the car.
Dear listeners, I used to wear windsuits in the 80s, and they were all the colors of the Charlotte Hornets in the 80s, yeah, which were teal and purple and white. Oh my God, I rocked those windsuits. They were from Kmart. And they were fantastic. They did not breathe. My fat little self probably had a smell in those things, but you know what? I loved it. And the sound, the whoosh, whoosh, whoosh.
I know.
Walking through the hallway. Oh.
You could go to the bathroom and you would actually like make more noise on purpose just because you could. Oh, jeez. Oh, my heart.
Anyway, Anthony's going to junior college. I
know. Isn't that great? Is junior college the same as? Is that the same as community college?
Yes, that was community. That's what community college was called back in the day.
Okay, because I remember like old movies where they say junior college a lot, and I was like, wait a minute.
That's like the first year, 2 years of college. It's getting your associates.
Got it.
So Julia wants to pay. Anthony says no, which he should just say yes. What?
Well, here's the best part that I thought of. You know me and my socialism. I was like, couldn't Julia just up his pay? Like, couldn't Julia just say, as his boss, Anthony, you know what? You've been doing such a good job, and you've been doing so good at improving yourself. We're going to give you a pay bump. Couldn't she just done that?
Maybe not, because she may not have enough money.
Well, she's almost bankrupt.
And I know the Sugar Baker's almost she's not, but Sugar Baker's almost bankrupt, right? So
Yep. She'd have to borrow the money from Suzanne.
And do you think she's going to give money to a black man? He's not.
No, he's not. He's not hobo level poor.
Whatever that is for Suzanne.
I don't know. It means that all your positions are in one bag.
Julia suggests that he becomes a waiter at the country club.
Yep, because that's
and he goes into this. Suzanne challenges him, and what qualifications do you have to be a waiter? And he goes into this spiel about Mr. T. Tommy Reed and this like etiquette book that they got in prison, and T. Tommy Reed made everybody have to be perfect.
I'm excited because this is the first mention of T. Tommy Reed, and I can't wait because there's so many lovely stories to look forward to in the future about T. Tommy Reed.
I wish that eventually, I don't think we ever do get to meet T. Tommy Reed.
I feel like he does show up at some point on the show.
How great would it be if like James Earl Jones came in as T. Tommy Reed at one point?
I know for some reason I think T. Tommy is like, I feel like it was like the bodybuilding comedian guy, Tiny Lister. I feel like it was him. Okay. I don't know why I feel like it was him, but I feel like we do actually get to see him at some point over the course of the show.
It's probably around season 6 where they're trying to save it.
Or
at his wedding. Dear listeners, Anthony may get married later on. I'm sorry to spoil it.
I mean, it's okay. The audience is probably more shocked that we just said that than spoiled.
That's true. So Reese comes in, and he's got go off to Marietta to take a deposition.
Yeah.
And he's got a new associate.
Oh, I know. And you know what's so weird about his associate?
Her name's Shannon Gibbs.
Yeah, and she's so young and beautiful.
She is young and beautiful. She is young and beautiful. I'm turning my page now.
If I wasn't comfortable in my relationship with Reese, I, being Julia, would be very, very nervous.
That's true. I do love that just after Reese and Shannon leave, Julia closed the door and then uses a complete me phrase. Well, isn't that nice?
I thought that too. I was like, oh, there he is.
Oh, God. Suzanne is immediately like, well, obviously she won't sleep with her. Like, obviously she won't sleep with him. Like, they're boning.
If anybody should know, it would be Suzanne. I mean,
she does like old men.
Right.
He's not that old at this point, but
he's pretty old. I mean, he's not like Suzanne will marry him old, but Reese was, I don't know. I guess not. Cause he took him a long time to die after this show. So like, he just looks much older than he actually is, I guess.
Yeah. Hal Holbrook's always kind of looked old.
Yeah,
but
that's true.
And if you ever, speaking of Hal Holbrook, is everything okay?
I want to look up what a young Hal Holbrook looks like now.
Oh, what does a young Hal Holbrook look like?
Young Hal
exact same.
Holbrook.
Oh my!
I'm just gonna send it to you on your phone. I was not expecting that. Was not expecting that at all.
Oh, no.
Oh my!
No.
Oh, my.
Everyone, as I'm looking at this, it literally is just Hal Holbrook with darker hair.
Wow! He's always
the
always
same number
had
of
that
wrinkles.
Face. He's always had that face.
Like he looked like a old man at like, oh my God. Wow. Anyway, so Julia asks Anthony if he thinks she's cute. Yeah. And he says, she looked like she had big feet to me. Or she looked like she had big feet. Which is dear listeners, apparently in the 80s that was a thing.
Yeah, that was a thing.
It's still a thing. It could still be a thing.
No,
again, probably
it's
not on
thing.
Chatterbait.
Oh my God.
So do you like my long form joke I just did there? Did you like it?
That was beautiful.
I set that one up and hit it hard.
Dear listeners, I hope you laughed at that because that took some effort on Miss Mims's part.
Not much though. Oh, so
I think we lost half of our listeners this week. They're like, are they both drunk today? Because they seem like they're a bit drunk.
No, y'all, I'm very sober. I was a little drunk last night because I was watching The Nanny.
I had a little drinky poo last night too. I wish I had not, because that's when my husband decided that we should watch Tenet. And it's not really the best to be having any alcohol in your system for it.
Was it good?
I don't know. I don't know.
Did you fall asleep?
I didn't. Okay, sidebar, dear listeners. So if you haven't watched Christopher Nolan's movie Tenet, currently on HBO Max, not sponsored, just be prepared, because it's a lot of things. And if you're movie people like myself and Miss Mims, you already know that Christopher Nolan already has a weird thing about time and the nature of time and everything. Well, he uses this movie to really dive in, and it's a lot of things. It wasn't bad. Like, it was, as far as an action movie, it was actually really, I thought, a good action movie. But as far as like all of these extra concepts and all of those kinds of things, I was just like, I thought about the plot of the movie. I was like, this could have been an hour and a half instead of two. Instead of 2.5 hours, I was like, this could be an hour and a half. Like,
I would like to say something controversial yet brave.
ooh.
I have never liked a Christopher Nolan movie.
I like his Batman movies.
Oh, well, okay. His Batman movies.
But those are different. Those are
Yes,
different.
exactly. You know what I mean.
No,
Because
I
he was
know.
Inception, right?
He's
That's
Inception. He's
Yeah.
Inception. I didn't dislike. You know what though? So like the thing that. So if I compare Inception to this one, I still haven't watched his like World War I movie yet, but I heard it's good. But if I compare this one to Inception, the difference to me is that Inception was kind of like a mind game. This one is, it relies a lot more on not just like a actual like crazy plot and a crazy script. It also relies a lot on some really wackadoo visuals that
I take it back.
Okay.
There's one Christopher Nolan movie that's not a Batman movie I like. Memento.
Oh, but everybody likes Memento.
I mean, but listen to the schlocky stuff he's got here. Inception, horrible. Interstellar, again, what did you just say about the movie? It could have been done in an hour and a half. There
That's
you
a
go.
Christopher Nolan movie? I didn't realize.
Yes. Did you watch it?
That makes so much sense now.
There you go. Let's see here. Dunkirk, which I've not seen. The Prestige.
Oh, now I can't say I really actually love The Prestige.
Insomnia.
Who was in that?
That is the Robin Williams, Al Pacino movie.
Oh, that's the one that takes place like in the Alaska, right?
Yes, it's so bad.
I see, to me, like that movie was so bad. I thought it was good. Like it was so bad. Like
So
I didn't think it was like that bad. That it was like,
the
bad.
cinematography in it's really good. Like,
Yeah,
but
it's beautiful.
The concept
Oh,
is
no,
watching Al Pacino go, oh, I can't sleep. I can't sleep. I can't sleep. I still
Now
can't sleep. It's too bright. I can't sleep. Oh, it's turning red. I still can't sleep.
Gosh, I hate you so much. I really liked that movie until you just said that, and I'm like, oh wait, that is what the whole movie was.
How do you feel about Man of Steel?
He did Man of Steel?
Yup.
What?
There we go. That's, I think, where are we at now? Okay.
Well,
Yeah, we were. So, with that said, I have.
we're going to the party now, right?
Hold on. No, we aren't quite there yet. But I do have an anime to suggest before we keep going. Asobi Asobase. It is so good and so weird. Look it up. It's spelled Asabase, Asabase. Asobi Asobase. Look it up. It is about 3 middle school girls. And it is some potty humor, adult nonsense. Like it is like nothing I've ever seen before. It seems like it's going to be sweet and innocent.
What's it called again?
Asobi Asobase. Part-Timers Club.
That sounds just like I think I've seen Part-Timers Club, but that sounded, when you said middle school girls and potty humor, I thought you were gonna talk about Mitsudomoi. That's about the 3 middle school sisters. Also very potty humor. It's also quite funny. But no, I'll look this up now.
So we are at a little time's passed. We're still at Sugar Bakers. Girl, we got a lot left, and we are not trucking it today. So, dear listeners, I don't apologize. So
You're not paying for this.
So they're having a discussion about their reading glasses. Julia's written down something wrong, and they're like, well, she just has too much pride to get new reading glasses. Well, let's read Charlene's book to see if she could actually read. she can read. So she reads a book about heaving bosoms and this and that. And Suzanne's like, where does she get a book like that? The Paperback of the Month Club. Yeah. Girl, it sounds like a Danielle Steele club, doesn't it?
So I'll tell you this fun little thing about my past. So my very first relationship, from the devil whose name I shall not speak. One of the fun things about him and his family is that they were basically like the crazy Southern type of family that you only think are fake, in every way, including an aunt who is the spinster aunt who never left home, and she is now in her 50s and has never left home. Her room has still got pink decorations. It was a lot. So when you went down into the basement of his grandmother's house where she lived, because she lived still with her mother for the last 50 years of her life, she had this room in the basement, like it was sectioned off, like walls and everything. And it was essentially a library of Harlequin books, like hundreds of them. It was the most bizarre. It was because it was just so bizarre. It wasn't any more bizarre than all the rest of that life that I had back then, but I was just not prepared for that.
I mean, did you have to like sneak in there?
No.
Oh, so it was okay just to go in there.
It's just nobody ever went in there. Nobody ever went to it was two older women. Nobody ever went in the basement. Nobody ever
Well, then how did the novels get there?
No, it was like she put them there. That's why she stored them. But but it wasn't like it was like under lock and key. Was it under lock and key? Oh wait, I think it actually was locked. I think the guy I was dating at the time broke the lock or something like that. Like picked the lock. Yeah.
The old credit card and the door thing, probably.
No, this was the bobby pin trick.
Oh, okay, that works with some older doors. Yep. So Charlene has news.
What's the news? What's happened?
Well, she went to go meet her psychic.
What?
And she said that the psychic said she's gonna meet the father of her children tonight because at the dance, he's gonna ask her to dance, and that's how she will know.
So hopefully, does that mean that guy that she eventually ends up with on the show is at the dance? I don't remember him being on this episode. Oh, so her psychic's wrong. Her psychic was wrong. Sorry. Okay. Got you. The psychic wasn't.
So my friend.
Oh, that's me. Oh, yes. Yes.
My friend bought a psychic reading for somebody else.
Oh, really?
Another one of her friends. And the pandemic hit. And the psychic said, well, we can still do it over Zoom. And to which I would have said, did you not see this coming? Like, could we not have gotten it done before all this happened? But no, she didn't see it coming. So there's that.
You are a terrible person.
I know. Like,
I wonder if there are any actual, dear listeners, we would actually love if you could tweet or Instagram message us to tell us if any of you see psychics and if any of those psychics accurately predicted the coronavirus pandemic that happened. I would love to hear about a successful psychic that saw that coming. Wouldn't you?
Sure.
Wow, that face, boy! If I could have
look, I there's some supernatural things that I will say, hey, there's not enough science. There's this psychic shit. We pretty much know it ain't real. It is making people, reading people is all it is. And yeah, I but you know what? Prove Miss Mims wrong. Prove her wrong. Just don't curse me, because I'll light a black candle on your ass.
Don't curse her, and also don't expect any sort of money out of that. If you do.
Oh, hell no!
For a second there, it kind of felt like there was a reward if they could prove you wrong, and I was like, no, there's no money.
No, there's nothing. Then you get to say you proved a 40-year-old drag queen wrong. That's about it.
Oh, pause. Something just happened.
What?
So Reese came to see Julia again, and he has to break another date with her because he's got another deposition.
This is 6 dates. He's broken 6 dates. We only know about 1, but he's broken 6.
Right.
dates.
So this probably does mean that he is definitely having sexual relations with Shannon.
Well, they have a fight.
No.
I'm sorry, it's not a fight, it's a misunderstanding.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like
It sounds like a fight from outside. I'm sitting outside. I was just carrying their mail in and dropping off a package. It sounds like 2 people inside are fighting.
Yes. So that Julia kicks him out, says, "You are not going to dance with me, Reese. I'm going upstairs, and by the time I come downstairs, you'd better be gone or I'm calling the law."
In which
Slams
case,
her
Reese,
coat on the floor.
I love when Reese says, you really should be taken outside and horsewhipped.
You are not the man to do that to me today.
I could not have asked for a better script other than from Tennessee Williams.
Oh my God. So now we go to, Reese leaves. We go to the next day. And Charlene comes in with her dresses.
Yep. It's very important.
Then Suzanne comes in with a huge news. Huge
There's
news.
more? There's more big news? I can't
Reese is
handle all
taking
this.
Shannon to the dance.
You better shut your mouth.
Yes. Did that one catch you off guard there?
It did. I love you and hate you for that.
I do believe in psychic type Pokemon, though. I will throw that out there.
Oh yeah, totally.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now we fade to black. Whoop. We open back up. Whoop. And we're at the dance. And Mary Jo is drunk.
I loved it, right? Isn't that great? This was I felt like this was Annie Potts' like favorite moment so far. She seemed like she was actually enjoying herself.
She did. She could be loose. She could be free. Her hair's down. She's not wearing a schoolmarm outfit.
No, I was actually, and it was no sleeves at all.
I know. And no necklace. Like no earrings. Nothing dowdy whatsoever. And it didn't even look 80s. We'll get into that in a few minutes. Suzanne's man couldn't make it because he had to have open heart surgery.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, I guess that's a good enough excuse.
She doesn't think so. He could have planned it after the dance.
Oh, that's true, actually. That's true.
Enter Julia with a younger man named Harrison Wright. Harrison Wright.
Oh boy, Harrison. He looks so
Young.
young, so young. And so young.
So young. So very, very. He looks a little bit like Bobo Harrison Ford from Star Wars.
See,
Right.
I was going to say that he looks like Bobo, every 80s actor on daytime soap operas.
There's that too. I was giving him a little more credit than that.
That hair was lovely.
Shannon wants to dance with Reese.
Oh, that's
So Julia wants to dance too. Harrison tells Julia, dancing's extra.
Wait a minute.
Bum bum bum.
Did Julia just pay us? Julia just paid a sex worker.
Not a,
After
You
all
there.
of those things that we had to deal with. Okay, Julia. Apparently, 2 episodes later, you have a change of heart. I guess going to jail did something to you.
She didn't intend for it to be sex. She was just paying for his company.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Yeah. Well, isn't that what Charlene's friend said too? That she just talks to most of them.
So Anthony's going around being his little server self, and I just want to point out here that Anthony and JD have a great friendship, right?
I love those two together.
Like they just seem to get along. Like they're being nice. They're just nice to each other, and it's very weird if you think about it, because JD's a rich white man,
yeah,
and Anthony is a former convict.
Yeah. Exactly.
Like,
they really shouldn't be as close as they are.
No, they shouldn't. But good job, Linda Bloodworth Thompson, for doing this.
Yeah,
kind of right.
I mean, you gotta know when to hold them.
Okay, Kenny, stop, Kenny.
Oh, that's right. We'd get in trouble. That's right. I forgot.
Islands in the stream. That is what we
Stop. That's all you can do. That's all you can do. Remember, that's all you can do. But otherwise,
So for some reason, Julia and Reese are dancing. I don't know how this happened, but they're dancing.
You were confused too, right? Like,
yeah.
I was like, wait a minute. I thought that they were there with these two people. What's happening now? I don't understand.
Well, Julia turns to Reese and says, "Well, don't wear your old underwear. Young girls don't find them sexy." To which he says,
What does he say?
He says he's not wearing his old underwear.
Oh, no.
Brown chicken, brown cow.
That definitely means then that Reese is having relations with that woman then, right? That's what that means.
So Julia walks away, thanks for the dance, goes sit down. As Reese walks over to the bar and just looks at everybody and says, "He's in love with her."
Julia, how do you know? How is that possible?
Because he bought new underwear.
Oh, that is a sign that you're in love with somebody, actually.
I mean, yes, when I bought new jock straps, that's how you knew that I was in love with my man. That's what it was.
I'm just leaving that there. I'm not gonna even... I'm not diving in. I'm not exploring that.
And men need lingerie, too. Men should be wearing lingerie, too.
Not lingerie! Men need lingerie! Stop! Oh my God. Men need lingerie, too. That's got to go on a shirt.
So Reese walks away. Shannon follows him. And then we learn officially that Shannon wants to have the sex with him.
Wait. So this wasn't one of those kind of situations where we really thought that she was a terrible person, and then we find out this whole thing is one misunderstanding, and she really is just a woman that's trying her best to make it in the legal world and using Reese as a wonderful role model in order to help her elevate her career?
No, but on the other side of things, she is just very sex positive and like, I don't want a relationship. You old. I just want to, actually does say she wants a relationship, but she doesn't want to make it permanent. She just wants to have some sex. She's good at it. She thinks he'd be good at it. And that's it. Right? Yeah. She has a thing for Mark Twain. And so she just wants that Mark Twain D.
I hate you so much.
She wants that Connecticut Yankee in her King Arthur's court, is what she's saying. That's what she's saying. She wants to race those frogs, is what she's saying. She wants his Huckleberry Finn. I don't know where this is going. Yeah, she wants to sail down that Mississippi with him. Please stop me. Please stop me.
Oh, I can't. This is too good.
So Reese decides to go to the bar because he's tired of the Mark Twain jokes. And Shannon takes Julia to the powdering room.
Oh no, not a powder room talk.
And she tells Julia, look, we're both strong, independent ladies.
It's true, they are. It's true.
She basically goes, yo, open up your relationship for a hot second. I just want that Mark Twain D.
Oh.
And then you can have him back. That is all I want. Like, let's just do this. Let's that's it. Just put it up and let's go. Let's get this done. She probably would have had threesome too.
She probably actually would have. I think if Julia had been like, I mean, I'm down to share, she would have been just on it. Like, they could have even done it over at the other place, at the brothel.
Exactly.
They could have gotten a room.
Monette would have loved it. So where are we at in this mess? Oh,
Julie's about to do her thing, honey. Julie's about to do her thing.
That's right. Mary Jo in the background is just giggling to herself. Like, I would have shot this a little bit differently. You see Mary Jo in the mirror behind. Eventually, they go straight to her face. I would have just left her in the mirror behind the entire time. And just like... But that wasn't the 80s. The 80s was very upfront, in your face. So Julia just looks at her in response and basically says, I've been around a lot of compost in my life, but I've never seen it in such a cute little package. And she declines.
Yes.
And then she leaves her to dig herself up. Or dig herself out. And she says, well, you know how to dig, don't you? Just get on your hands and knees and shovel. Yeah. Mary Jo goes over to her and goes, around the office we call her the Terminator.
Yes. Which is actually relevant back then, because that was a fairly new thing.
Yes, it was. I'll be back.
Oh my gosh.
Dear listeners, for those of you that do not know, the governor of California was once in movies. Former governor of California was once in movies.
If you are under the age of 25, maybe you're gonna appreciate us dropping that little bit of knowledge. So,
yes, that's very true. The former Prius driving Arnold Schwarzenegger was in. Oh my God, one of my favorite bad movies of all time, Red Sonja. If you've never seen it, he has this line. He delivers it perfectly. He goes up to Red Sonja. Red Sonja's great. Like, she's this female badass, like, warrior woman. He's just scantily clad, kind of looking like Conan the Barbarian. And she goes up to him. It's at the beginning of the movie. Sonja, your sister, she's dying. And that's pretty much all he says the entire movie. It's great.
Have you ever watched we're near the end, audience, so hold on with us, right? We just keep getting sidetracked. Have you ever watched Hercules in New York?
No, I have not.
Okay, so for anybody listening to this right now, if you like Arnold Schwarzenegger or dislike Arnold Schwarzenegger, both apply to you. So Arnold Schwarzenegger's very first movie was in the mid-70s. It was called Hercules in New York. It was back when he literally was just a bodybuilder and someone thought he should be in a movie because he looked like Hercules. His English was so bad, they dubbed the entire movie with someone else's voice. Now, if you saw it in the 70s, it wouldn't have been nearly as funny as it is now because we are all very familiar with Arnold Schwarzenegger and what he sounds like. Everyone should watch it. Everyone should watch it at least one time because it is, whoa boy. That's also like when he was like rolling around with the underground scene. There's even like Warhol Polaroids of Schwarzenegger posing like and everything. Like he was kind of like a socialite for a little bit.
Did you ever do you follow his son on Instagram?
Which one? The legitimate one or the illegitimate one?
The illegitimate one who's now a bodybuilder as well.
No. Does he look just like him at this point?
Yes, with a little bit of Hispanic in him.
That's crazy. No wonder he had to come clean about that because that was gonna come out at some point anyway. Yeah. Not a lot of people look like you, Arnold, including your kids with the Shriver lady.
So Shannon goes back over to Reese.
Oh, okay.
And Reese says, "No, I'm already taken."
What? But Shannon is like this hot lady. I don't understand.
I know. So Shannon leaves. Reese goes back to Julia, and they're dancing. Suzanne says she's washing her hands of all of them, and then she looks over at Harrison and says, "Well, except for Harrison." And he just goes, "Hi," or something like that. Yeah, well, he was 80s. Okay.
I was like,
Look,
what are you about to say? What are you about
if you're drunk at a party, a boring ass party, and your 85-year-old boyfriend didn't show up, and you need to get that D,
No,
and
it's
Mark
true.
Twain's not giving it.
I get it. I totally get you. Not. Everything you say today is such a problem.
Yeah.
Like I'm never gonna get a Tony Award after this because of all of this conversation. There's never gonna come give me a regional Tony.
A regional Tony. A regional Tony.
It's technically possible. I work at a theater, so I mean, I could technically get a regional Tony for something.
You could.
Technically, I could.
You could technically.
But not now because you've been besmirching the memory and the legacy of the glorious Tony Award winning Hal Holbrook. So
I'm not besmirching his legacy.
You keep talking about Mark Twain. That's his only legacy.
That's his legacy. He was also the old Republican senator on West Wing for an episode. One of the best episodes.
Well, of course, it was one of the best episodes. It had the Tony Award winning Hal Holbrook in it.
So Julia looks at him. They're dancing together again. Julia looks and says, "You didn't actually buy new undies, did you?" "Well, there's one way to find out." Do-do, do-do-do.
Yes, Julia and Reese are about to get it on. That's like erotic fiction for AARP readers. What would they call it? It would be like the Peach and the Playwright. That's what we could call that book.
Was that not Tennessee Williams' biography? Oh God! Well, did you find yourself a Miss Georgia World?
Oh, honey, that purple dress that Julie had at the dance, I was obsessed with it. I was obsessed. Yeah, I was obsessed with it.
Wow. Okay.
I loved that dress so much.
Because I am giving it to Mary Jo's gold dress. Like, she has never looked better.
That's my runner-up.
It's very gold.
That's my runner-up, but it's my runner-up for a specific reason, which was
the bow.
Gosh. Sometimes the two of us know each other so well, it's a little scary.
That bow in the middle, it was a little bit.
Yeah, I just didn't. It was, the thing was like it wasn't just that it was big. It was that it was big and it had like no reinforcement, so it kind of looked sloppy. And like it just for me, I was like everything else on her looked so flawless, and I just kept staring at that. Like, couldn't somebody have sprayed that with some starch or something?
Well, I will pointedly disagree because it's the best that she's ever looked.
No, I agree, but it's not. I mean, it's not my Miss Georgia World though, but it is the best she's ever looked. Nothing. When Julia walked out of that powder room and that dress was like moving, it had all that movement. Oh, I loved it so much.
I wonder how much that movement was the dress. How much that movement was her. I guess it doesn't matter, does it?
I think that dress. I mean, at least based on the design of that dress, it was a well thought out design dress. It wasn't like just like there was like layers to it. There was a color story to it. Everything.
A color story.
Shut up.
Color story.
I hate you right now.
I can promise you that in the first season of a CBS sitcom, they were not discussing a color story.
There's always a color story. What are you talking about?
The color story they were talking about was Anthony.
There is. Oh my God. There is always a color story. The whole show exists on a color story. It's like the Powderpuff Girls. Like they never have the same colors on. They always have these very different things. Like there's always a story to what they're wearing.
I can't wait for Taupe Hills to show up. Did you enjoy this episode?
I did. I think I'm liking these episodes more because I mean as we talked about on not last week but the week before last, we're starting to see like a one narrative story which gives everybody a chance to kind of do their thing. And so for me, like that's actually I'm enjoying that.
I agree. It felt a little sloppy, a little rushed, a little disjointed sometimes.
Yes.
But I did enjoy it.
It's just part of it. Like we talk about it a lot in improv when you talk about people being able to give like their percentage of the work. And I feel like since they started doing this more like everybody, it's just one plot for the most part. Everybody gets to have a little piece of the comedy, right? Like everyone got a little, Charlene did her psychic thing. Mary Jo did her drunk thing. Suzanne did her, husband, but the guy with the heart attack or whatever. Like everybody got their jokes in and it was kind of like an equal playing ground. So I actually am starting to enjoy this format. Now, do I like Julia being hypocritical about sex workers? No, I don't. But that's just because I get a little bee in my bonnet about that kind of thing. But that's just me.
Well, Auntie Maim, let's wrap this shit up because we've been talking for an hour and 10 seconds now. And this is going to be one of the longer episodes we've ever had. Not the longest, but one of our longer episodes.
Well, it is the 5th of July, girl, so we can do that. We're free.
5th of July.
We're free to do what we want to do. Free to do what you want. Free to love who you need. Free to talk all day if we want.
Because it is 5 p.m. and Miss Mims gonna get hungry soon, girl. I have my little snacks.
Not your snacks. Okay, snarf. Snarf.
I would like to I lost what I was going to say. I had something and I just it went out of my mind brain and just disappeared into the ether. Maim, tell them where they can find you.
Oh, sure. So if any of you would like to follow me on various social medias, I don't know if they haven't yet. If anybody would like to follow me, you can follow me on Instagram at auntie.maim. That's MAIM. You can follow me on Facebook at I'm Your Auntie Maim, all one word. And you could follow our Instagram for our page for this show at Mims and Maim.
And that is also true for our Twitter.
Yeah, our Twitter.
And you can follow me, the Divine Miss Mims, on Twitter at Divine Miss Mims.
The Divine Mims.
Divine Miss Mims, not Miss Mims. Divine Miss Mims, all lowercase, all one word. My password is no wait. You can also
Her password is Chatterbait.
You can also find me on Chatterbait at Divine Miss Mims. Throw me some tokens. I'll show you my ugly ass feet. Do it. Alright. And hell, if it makes me a sex worker or whatever, you have fun. Let's see here. What was I saying? Where was I going with this? Oh, you can join our Patreon. We still have 0 Patreons.
Woo! This is a record, I think. I think this is a record.
Well, we don't really do anything with it. We probably should.
That's right. Actually, there should actually be like a thing, like, if
I've got some things set up, just nobody wants them. And you can join us. You can join us next week, hopefully next week, for the next episode, which is episode 17, Nashville Bound! ! Boy. And I think this is one of the classic. No. And if you look at Hulu, they say all of the classic episodes. Season 1 and season 2 only has one classic episode apiece.
That's not right.
Yeah.
But I mean, think about that. Like, there's like Miss Georgia World is in season 1, and there has to be another one that was really popular from season 1. I thought the sleepover one was considered popular.
No.
Oh, well, there you go. I got egg on my face. So there you go. Maybe we should have picked a different sitcom. Just joking.
You know what? There's no sitcom that more directly relates to our state of being than this, except for maybe Laugh-In, and I don't have time to delve into that.
I would love to, but I'm very nervous about doing that because there's a lot of geopolitical things going on with that one.
We would have to sit there and do 10 minutes. We'd have to do it segment by segment.
Yeah.
That'd be hard.